Colin Cowherd is back at it again, dumping his negativity all over Fox Sports 1 and the internet, using the Cleveland Browns as his huckleberry, and just making us his personal mission to dampen our expectations for this season. In this video, I'm going to break down his latest tirade about how bad the Cleveland Browns are and really give you my thoughts and opinions on the matter. So let's go ahead and kick it off. Here we go.
Expectations, my friends, change everything.
They do. I don't disagree with that.
They change everything. Cleveland is going to be on prime time 4 times this year.
Yeah, we are.
They are no longer a movie with a $35 million budget. The Cleveland Browns now, expectations, they're a movie with a $150 million budget. Could
you be any more smug and dismissive? Why are we not allowed to be excited? Is it like Quincy Carrier, my buddy, said in his video? Is it because we're a small market? Is it because you resent us that much because we're a blue-collar town? Is that why, Colin? Because I'm starting to believe that's really the truth. Continue on.
Baker Mayfield's silliness, not so fun on a 2-game losing streak.
His silliness? So his silliness? So we're talking about him, coming over to the sidelines, doing the whole thing, or I don't know what else they're talking about with the silliness stuff. He's a kid. He's having fun. He's getting paid a lot of money. He's doing the thing that he loves to do, and he's very, very good at it. He's got everybody excited. He breaks the rookie single-season touchdown passing record in less than a full effing season, but we're not allowed to be excited because he does silly things.
Now is it? They threw a parade last year when they were 7-8-1.
Okay. We're 7-8-1. So let's do some math. Okay. 2 previous seasons before going 7-8-1. We win 1 game. 1 game? 0-16, 1-15. 1 game. So let's go and just do like percent increase calculator. Okay. Let's do the math here. Original number 1, new number 7.5. That's a 650% increase. Yeah, it's exciting when we win 7.5 games. Would it have been awesome to win 8? Yeah, it would have been awesome to win 9 or 10 and make the playoffs even better. But coming off an 0-16 and a 1-15 season, yeah, there's the math, Colin, right there. That's why we're excited.
They don't go 9-7, head's going to roll. Namely, Freddie Kitchens, the rookie head coach, who's never even been hired by any other team as a coordinator.
I know, he's just terrible. There's so many better coaches out there that we could have picked. So many Hall of Fame coaches out there that we could have picked from that would have been instantly Bill Belichick just all over again. Right? There's so many guys out there, but we went with Freddie. You know what the thing about it is really interesting that he's completely dismissing is the personal side of this. Dorsey gets along with Freddie Kitchens. Kitchens is a John Dorsey guy. Look at what Dorsey's doing, the guys he's bringing in. These aren't, he's not pulling in just free agents for the heck of it. They're relationships. Going out there, getting the free agents that he believes in, that he wants to give a chance to, guys that he worked with in the past, guys that he drafted in the past, other people like OBJ, who's got the relationship with Jarvis. He's put this. There's a plan. There's a system in place. And with Freddie Kitchens, he saw something special. Freddie Kitchens was also a guy that Bill Parcells saw something special at, pulled him out of college and brought him into the Dallas Cowboys out of the blue. So we're not the first team to recognize that there's something going on with Freddie Kitchens. Anyway, let's continue.
So I looked at the NFL schedules yesterday, and oh my, isn't this interesting? I don't think it's the toughest schedule because it lightens up in the last month, and that is crucial.
Yeah, so there's the disclaimer. So if he's wrong, he's got that going. Let's continue.
But go look at the early schedule for the Cleveland Browns with all these new pieces, a lot of mouths to feed, a rookie head coach, and a very talented young quarterback in his second year. Oh, Lord. Rams,
at least you got that right.
Seattle, at New England, at Baltimore, at Denver. Well, Colin, a couple easy ones.
Well, before he gets into that, we beat Denver last year at Denver. I think we're not going to have as much of a problem with Tennessee as he believes. I think they could be a sneaky team, but they're certainly not they're not the New England Patriots. We're talking about the Tennessee Titans here, right? The New York Jets away on Monday night is going to be a challenge. It's going to be interesting. There's going to be a lot of spotlights on that. There's going to be a lot of emotions riding high. I talked about this in my video, my previous one. I think the LA Rams coming to Cleveland, everybody thinks that that's where we're really going to get smack in the mouth. West Coast teams coming across the country don't always fare well, just like East Coast teams or Midwest teams going west doesn't always work out well. I think that travel is going to play a big part. The Baltimore game, we beat them last year. It was a very close game away as well. So, I mean, but here, let's see what he has to say.
It's at the Jets and at San Francisco. Really? You ever gone on the road for a Monday Night Football game? Of course, Cleveland, you haven't, because nobody wanted to put you on Monday night.
So what? Again, that's in the past. That is in the past. It's like going out and saying, the Cowboys back their first season with Jimmy Johnson when they went 1-15, I believe, or whatever they were. Well, they shouldn't get anything because, I know that now they've got Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin and Troy Aikman's much better, but, let's not do any. Let's dismiss everything in the past and say that they're nothing. They don't deserve anything. Beyond that, yeah, it's a Monday night game. These are guys that he's trying to make it seem like the guys that we have on our team, like the guys like Baker Mayfield, won't be able to live up to the pressure of a Monday night football game. Guess what, dude? He's been in major, major games before. He's been in college stadiums with 90,000 people watching, and he did really well. Go ask the people at Ohio State. This isn't a guy who's going to crumble under the pressure of a Monday night game or anything like that. He thrives on this sort of thing. He's thinking it's going to be a negative. This is going to be a positive thing. Also, OBJ going back to New York, second week of the season, nationally televised game in the stadium where he started his entire career in the pros. You don't think he's going to be motivated to do really well?
But now they're going to put you on the road. You're a big attraction.
We are.
You know what those Monday Night Football crowds are like? Drunk, loud, lubricated.
You ever been to a Browns game? Like a non-Monday Night Browns game? Just a regular Browns game? Yeah, same sort of thing. We're okay with that. That's sports in general.
Give the home team an extra 1.5. And Darnold, frankly, can play, and so can Jimmy.
He loves Darnold. He's like, he can play. Darnold can play. Sam Darnold didn't light the world on fire last year. I wouldn't call Sam Darnold the second coming of Elway or Andrew Luck. All right, he had an okay rookie year. He wasn't in the conversation for rookie of the year. Quite frankly, if you look at his statistics, they were somewhat average when it comes to how rookies perform. So saying that he can play and make it, Baker can play. Baker proved that he can play. Baker's got all the momentum in the world and all the tools around him. Yeah, the Jets might have got a little bit better, but to say that Darnold is like this, he can play. I'm not all that worried about that. There's other quarterbacks that are on this schedule that I'm a lot more worried about than Sam Darnold.
Garoppolo.
Garoppolo, if he can stay healthy. I do agree that Garoppolo's probably actually got a better situation around him in San Francisco. I predict that the 4-12 San Francisco 49ers are going to be a playoff team this year. I think they're going to be well, and I don't think we're going to win that game. I think we go out west and we lose. So that's not the end of the world. It's actually not bad that we lose a couple games early in the season, right? If we go undefeated, let's say we win the first 7 games, that's going to be scary going into the rest of the season. It's not bad to be okay, because as Colin pointed out in the beginning of this video, the back end of this schedule is pretty light. 2 games against Baltimore, 2 games against the Bengals, home against Baltimore, Arizona, which could be interesting, but since it's an away game, but I think we're a much better team than Arizona. That at Pittsburgh. I mean, I think Pittsburgh's vulnerable. I think Pittsburgh's beatable this year. Versus Miami at home, November 24th, Miami Dolphins coming to Cleveland. Yeah, we're gonna have the advantage there. Anyway, let's continue.
Adam Gase is a good offensive coach, and so is Kyle Shanahan. They're the two.
Okay, you're going to sit there and say that we should be worried about Adam Gase, a good offensive coach, when you just sat there and every chance you have, you knock down Freddie Kitchens as being a quote-unquote intern or whatever. Come on, man.
Two guys, closest friends in the league. They're smart. They trade secrets.
A lot of coaches talk. That's not a big deal. A lot of coaches are friends. Freddie Kitchens has been in the league, I believe, 13 years. He's got friends too, and I think he's a pretty well-respected guy.
All of a sudden now you're 2-4. So Cleveland this morning is looking at their.
So he's saying we're 2-4. So even at that point, I don't think that's the time to hit the panic button. We could end up going 12-4. So nobody's going to be panicking. It's going to be okay, even if we get off to a little bit of a rocky start. That's to be expected with this schedule. We are very backloaded in terms of where the softness is. We're going to be fine.
Schedule, and they're like, hey, we're realistic. We know it's kind of tough early, but it's a lot of W's late. All right, so let's just concentrate on one game in your schedule. Okay. Tennessee.
All right.
Everybody in Ohio this morning grabbed a little pocket schedule like Joey talked about yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I
put it on
on
mine.
Tennessee. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, W. Okay, Rams, Seattle, New England.
I think we're going to beat the
W
Rams
on
too.
Tennessee. Well, let's just examine Tennessee.
Okay.
They finished with a better record than you did
last year. Yeah, last year.
Unlike the Browns, who beat.
They finished with a better record than us last year.
One playoff team, 1-5 against playoff teams, only win against Baltimore, Joe Flacco, who was later benched. Oh, Tennessee throttled Dallas.
Well, the good thing is this isn't last year. We don't have the same roster as we had last year. We don't have the same head coach as we had last year. We don't have the same injuries as we had last year. This is a new season. That's why it says 2019 on the schedule there, Colin. So, yeah, there's some indication of how well you perform historically. Might be able if you're a betting guy, but it doesn't necessarily mean a whole heck of a lot moving forward.
Humiliated New England. Clobbered Philadelphia. Well, but we added a lot of new pieces. Oh, so did Tennessee. Oh. Adam Humphries was the most expensive slot receiver.
Adam Humphries.
Wake's old, but he'll be a pass rusher.
Okay, so they have an old pass rusher and an average wide receiver, slot back, versus what we added with a generational talent, Hall of Fame level talent with Odell Beckham, and with somebody who's they actually have to now definitely respect on the other edge, running in with Vernon.
They upgraded their offensive line, taking a Ram who is now a Tennessee Titan. And oh, by the way, they do not have a rookie coach.
Well, they absolutely need to, because their quarterback gets hurt every year. So, yeah, they had to invest in that because their quarterback is as soft as butter. I mean, every piece of him has been hurt since he's been in the league. He's gotten beat up really bad. If they want to continue to build around Mariota, they got to keep him healthy. So investing in the offensive line is not a big deal. I think we're going to be just okay when it comes to more than just okay when it comes to our pass rush this year.
They have maybe the smartest and most successful of Bill's coordinators. Mike Vrabel, the former player.
Mike Vrabel is now the second coming of Bill Belichick. You heard it. Mike Vrabel, okay? I don't know a whole heck of a lot of him. I mean, he was an okay player. Don't get me wrong, he was an okay player. But look at the other coordinators coming out of the Belichick coaching tree. None of them have worked out. Not a single one. We know it all too well, right? We got the Mangini. We've got Romeo Crennel. We've got the guy. We brought them in. They're not good, right?
Sources tell
Josh
me.
McDaniels. I mean, like, how's he worked out too? I mean, you look at the Belichick guys. I think they work out really well in New England under Belichick in the system with the greatest quarterback, arguably of all time. Right? You take those guys out of New England, you put them anywhere else, especially teams that are mediocre or need to be coached up to do better. They don't really do that well. Mike Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel, of all the New England Belichick guys, of all of them, Vrabel's going to work. Now, he was never a top assistant for Belichick.
No,
he was a
he
player
wasn't.
for him. But my guys in the NFL, my scouts, my guys say Tennessee's well coached. They were a Blaine Gabbert start.
The same guys in the NFL, the same guys that he has out there that said that Odell wasn't happy, didn't want to be in Cleveland, and then like instantly Baker and everybody came behind. It was like, and Odell's out there tweeting, how much he's happy and where he was, and he goes on building the Browns and says that they had conversations between him and Jarvis and Baker saying, I wish you were my quarterback. I wish you were my quarterback. But yeah, he's unhappy. The same guys are telling you that. His contacts.
For making the playoffs last year. And they have a history of going into places and stunning people. They're a very physical football team.
It's the first game of our season. It's the first. Everybody's gonna be so excited. That stadium is going to be rocking back and forth. It's going to be going so hard. Yet he thinks that Tennessee's coming up there, and they're gonna come up. They're scared to death. Nobody wants the Browns' first game of the season. I think the Browns were in the conversation to be playing against New England first game of the season. I don't think New England wanted a piece of us even at home. They didn't want a piece of us first game of the season. They were like, let's give it to the Steelers. Let's give New England a softer team that they can beat. They have a much better chance. But we don't want to set up the Browns to beat them. That'll be a really bad story. But yeah. Anyway, continue.
Cleveland, you're not in a position to just discard teams as W's.
We're not discarding teams as W's by looking, which everybody does. The NFL channel does it. So if you look at the actual NFL network, you watch ESPN, they're all doing the same thing with the little touch boards that never work when they touch it, and they're like, I'm going to give the Browns a win. A win, and they push the W. Everybody does this, okay? We are allowed to be excited about the Browns. We are allowed to. Right? We are allowed to look at the schedule and give our predictions of where we think we can win or lose. There's nobody discarding anybody. Nobody's saying like, it's an automatic win. I think, although, the Dolphins and I think Arizona is probably one of the easier teams on the schedule, nobody's just like completely dismissing everybody. As we know in the NFL, any given Sunday, anybody can beat any team. Ask the teams that we have over the last 9 years, the teams we beat. Everybody came in thinking that they were going to beat us, that we'd be an easy W. And we managed to sneak out a couple wins with really bad teams, really bad coaches. So we're not dismissing anybody, but we are allowed to, give our predictions for the year. Jesus.
Belichick and Brady can. They can put a W if they're hosting Miami, if they're hosting Houston, even a good team. There are no automatic wins for the Cleveland Browns. They do not exist. And Cleveland, you have always been the $35 million movie budget.
This again.
Nobody really cares. It's a rounding error.
That's a really weird take. Like he's comparing us to a low-end movie budget. And you know what? The other thing about this, let's look at that as well. Let's say that somebody, if you have a budget, you're a movie, and you got $35 million to make this movie. And you don't have all the corporate money. You don't got like $150 million in the bank. Not to say that you can't, but you think about that $35 million budget. It's not going to have the ad budget to go after and put guys on Jimmy Kimmel's show for a week and buy commercials for 6 months leading up to it and do all the things. $35,000 budget. You have to have a good movie in order for people to go. There's pressure on you at $35,000 budget, just like there is a $150,000 budget. How about that?
But now you're a primetime team. We're going to put you on the road.
We have 4 primetime games. There are other teams. There's a bunch of at least 8. I think more like 8 to 10 other teams have 5 primetime teams. We have 4 and a couple like the doubleheader games, so like the late flex games. But yeah, I mean, sorry, Colin, we're an exciting team. We've got an exciting wide receiver core. We've got a really exciting quarterback. We've got a really exciting story. We've got some exciting defensive players. We're an exciting team. I know that really pisses you off, but we are an exciting team. Get used to it.
Going to have you play Pittsburgh on Thursday Night Football. And
that'd be great.
Patriots, Rams, television.
So what? I mean, we have to play teams We have to play games, Colin. Yeah, we have Pittsburgh. We play them twice, actually. Once on Thursday and once on... We have to play teams. It's football. Sorry.
Niners, and everybody in Cleveland this morning has Tennessee as a W. That's going to be one of your toughest games in the first month. I'd argue your toughest game. Good luck. Expectations change everything.
Okay. Let's see what Vegas has. Let's see what the line is on Browns, Titans, Vegas line. I'm doing this on the fly. Okay. New Look Browns favored over the Titans. This is Vegas. These are the betting people. See if you can find the absolute line here. The Browns have opened a 5-point home favorites against the Titans. 5 points. So not only are the Browns fans putting the W there, Vegas betting people are putting the W there. But we're not allowed to because we're Cleveland Brown fans. We're not allowed to. That's the point of the whole video that he made, is that expectations, now you have expectations, you don't deserve to have those expectations because of previous historical failures. While some of that may be true, and I do believe in this world you do have to earn it, you shouldn't be handed anything. But I think if you look at the potential that lies within this Browns organization, not just the on-field players, the front office, the people that are actually putting the teams together. We have smart people for the first time in a long, long time that are running this organization. This is put together with a purpose. There was a plan to this. It's all coming together. And we're getting a shot. I think that's what this is. We are getting an opportunity to show what we can do. If we do well, those opportunities are going to continue. If we do bad, then guess what? Then we fall backwards and we try again. But that's what it's like to be a Browns fan. We aren't bandwagon. We aren't fair weather. We are Browns fans. And we stick with this team no matter what happens. I've been a Browns fan my entire life. My dad's been a Browns fan his entire life. The people who watch this channel have been Browns fans their entire life. And we're going to continue to be Browns fans, whether we're good or bad. That's what happens. Seahawks fans or, Dolphins fans or wherever, right? Maybe they just kind of like the teams or care about them when they're good, right? But to be a Cleveland Browns fan, you got to stick through a whole lot. To wear a Tim Couch jersey in public, for the people who don't know about Tim Couch, like as an actual Browns fan, I'm a big Tim Couch fan. I think he did really well. I think it was there was a lot of unfortunate situations, him getting injured, but I thought he was a heck of a good quarterback, especially for a franchise team. Won a lot of games, a lot more games than other people did. But the point is, we've been through it all, right? We're going to continue to be a Browns fan no matter what. So even if it doesn't work out, it's not going to be the end of the world for us. Our expectations are definitely to win games this year. I'm excited to win games this year. I'm excited for the opportunity to even be excited. I'm excited to be excited to play games. I'm not excited. I don't really care as much about the draft. I think the draft's going to be fun. By the way, we're going to do a live show on the draft. We're going to be streaming it live, or at least our live impressions of what's going on. We'll have to see what's legal to actually be streamed at that time. But please join us here on the channel for that time. Guys, thank you very much for watching the video. I'm not going to spend too much more time in here. I know this is going to be a little bit of a long one, but thank you very much for watching. This guy pisses me off, and I think he's wrong a whole heck of a lot, and I think it's really unfortunate that he continues to pick on the Browns fans like so. But at least it inspired me to make another video. So, guys, thank you very much. As always, go Browns.